Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. Not the only paranormal podcast, but definitely the coolest. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode about Richard Ramirez. Tonight we're actually going to talk about something tied into that kind of ties into Richard Ramirez. We're going to talk about the infamous Cecil Hotel. Cecil.
I've heard it both ways.
It's in La La Land.
So once again, we do not have our fifth Elisa.
Yes.
She is missed.
She's hosting family.
Hopefully she'll be back for the next one.
Hurry back.
Yes, hurry
Quickly.
back. She was supposed to be like the headliner on this one. This was like her, and she ditched on us.
Yeah, well, for good reasons.
For good reasons. I'm
But
just giving her a hard
We've
time.
got her notes.
She sent her notes. So
We got this.
we'll do fine. And if we don't, then come back in 2 weeks. We'll have something else that's awesome. But
It will be a lot less dark than the last two episodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully.
No, I'm excited. There's a lot of people excited for our next episode. A lot of people.
For our next episode?
Yep.
I don't
For the
remember.
one after this one. Well, we'll talk
We'll
about
discuss it later. You can fill me
Off
in.
air, but yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for it too, just to let you
Give
guys
me a
know.
What
piece of
I
paper, I'll
think is
write
going to
it.
be our next episode, I could be
Give me a
wrong.
piece of paper. I'll write it in the back.
But I know that this is one that I know a couple of people that are anxiously awaiting.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I have no idea. I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just show up and whatever we do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That will be
Yeah.
a good
That's
one.
going to be a
That's
fun
kind
one.
of, yeah. I'm not as excited for that one because I'm like, eh.
He's
that's
not
okay.
excited for it,
But
but I am.
I wasn't excited for Richard Ramirez, and man, I had a lot of interesting stuff on that
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah, I had to take a really good, hot, long shower after doing that one, though, because, boy, I felt really
I
dirty
know,
and wrong.
but I appreciate you letting me share the shower with you. That was awesome.
That was nice. And it's only a stall, too, so it was quite
Well,
calm.
we have that big tub.
Hey, but that's not a shower.
You can still get clean.
That's true.
That's Lisa's. That's mine.
Oh, okay. I was really
She's looking at my
confused.
computer screen, going, "What the heck are you
Yeah,
doing?"
I'm like, I know you don't have my notes.
I have two notes split screened on my computer here,
Okay.
and I'm like,
You
I'm
can
going to
cut
try
that
to go
all out.
through both of them.
Okay, so we introduce ourselves. We have
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going around the room here.
We got
We're all
Josh.
giggly because it's late at night.
Who do we have?
We have Josh.
The lovely Josh,
Beautiful Josh and Jamie.
the amazing Jamie,
Terry.
the illustrious Terry, and the fat slob named Mikey.
We all just got done eating some cake, so we're a little on a sugar high again.
Oh, I'm eating Skittles and Reese's Pieces at the same time over here.
We've said this
Which is
before.
interesting.
Jamie is really good at getting us on a sugar high when we get here.
That's what I do.
And that just keeps us going, and then at the end of the night, we just crash.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah,
a crash.
sleep
I just
really
hope I
well.
don't crash until after I get home.
Yeah, I get to
Well, we
drive
do
home.
too.
So Cecil Hotel. Did you guys know that there was one in London?
No.
So we're not going to talk about the Cecil Hotel in London. That one was a grand hotel built in the 1890s to the 1896 between the Thames and the Strand in London. The hotel was largely demolished in 1930s, and now it is the Shell House.
The Shell House? Is
The
like,
Shell.
Like,
Gasoline.
The Shell Mex
oh,
House.
there you go. Gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about that one today.
We're going to talk about the French one, Les Cecil.
La Cicelle.
So I think you've got the start of it, Josh.
Now we're talking the American one.
Actually,
in Los
Jamie's got the
Angeles.
better start.
Do I get the better start?
You do.
Okay.
Go,
Well-
Jamie!
All right, Cecil Hotel. So this hotel was built during the financial and cultural boom of the 1920s, and it officially opened its doors for business in 1927. Its architecture featured opulent Art Deco style lobby and iconic exterior sign advertising its high occupancy and low rates, which attracted many business and leisure travelers who stayed as guests in the Cecil Hotel's 700 rooms.
So essentially, it's like the Motel 6 of 1920.
Yes.
Low rates.
Low rates.
Yeah, and,
Free cable.
and what did you say the rates were?
Okay, so it had 700 rooms. 300 of the rooms without any bathroom, was just a bed, were
Kinda like a
$1.
hostel, right?
Yeah, like a hostel. They'd sleep 4 to 6 people in a room. $1.50.
Dang.
200 rooms with a private toilet was $2, and 200 rooms with a private bath was $2.50.
I'm spending my $2.50.
But I mean,
I'm looking up the exchange rate right now.
do you think back in the 1927, what that would be worth nowadays?
That still can't. I mean, what? $40, $50? Like it couldn't have been that much, right?
I don't know.
Good question.
So wait, $2.50, right?
$2.50 from 1927.
50. We're asking Bing.
Bing.
Cherries.
Chandler.
We're looking at $31.40.
Ooh, that was
Wow.
close.
Yeah.
Wait, no, wait, $32.88.
$32 a
this
night.
year.
You can't even get a Motel 6 for that price.
Heck no.
You can't.
And this came with free cable, right? Free pool, free Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because it was invented in 1927.
Yes, by Al Gore.
And did you say how much it originally cost to build?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
So it says the hotel featured a decadent marble lobby, stained glass windows, potted palms, and an alabaster statuary. The 19th-floor hotel saw a few prosperous years, but when the stock market crashed, the once alluring hotel quickly became a place of disrepair. The Great Depression turned the area around the Cecil Hotel into Skid Row.
Okay, now this is funny. Terry was showing me on Google Maps earlier tonight where this hotel was at in LA, and like on Google Maps it says Skid Row. Is like that like the name of the street?
I think so.
That's sad. I always thought it was like a term of like, this is the slums, or
Right. No, it's actually Skid Row.
It is.
It's
It
called
really
Skid
is.
Row, yeah.
Where are you located? 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
and if you
Skid Row.
if you see the pictures of this lobby, it's still today. The lobby's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't match the area in which it's
No,
located.
and it doesn't match the rest of the hotel either.
Or the clientele that lives there,
Right.
or has lived there.
But no, we didn't. I don't think we had the cost of.
I don't think we have the cost of what it originally cost to build it.
The hotel cost $1 million to build
Oh, dang.
originally.
Okay.
Back
1.5.
there. Was it 1.5?
1.5.
And then translated to the cost nowadays.
It's 15 million. Sorry,
Sorry.
Terry's throwing her phone.
$15,742,397.66.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 15.7 million.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money
Who
for
had
back
money
then.
like that back then? Mobsters.
Somebody did.
The mob.
Some
So-
very rich man had some money.
Yeah, in fact, so in 2013,
Named Cecil.
they were still using regular, just a key on a keychain to get into the rooms. They hadn't converted it
Like
to
an
the-
actual metal key.
Yeah, they hadn't reconverted it to hotel key cards yet at that point in time.
Wow.
And who knows if they ever will at this point.
They have. If in that Netflix series, you could see that there was key cards to get into the bathrooms and
Oh.
stuff like that now.
Cool.
So
Okay, so after the Great Depression turned the Cecil Hotel into Skid Row, its low daily, weekly, and monthly rates, they dropped even lower, and many around the city found themselves jobless. So their rates fell even lower, and it attracted travelers, prostitutes, transients, as well as people on the run from the law.
Basically, everybody lives on Skid Row.
yeah, well,
Come
and then
inside. It's
in-
fun inside.
they were interviewing the manager of the hotel who managed it for about 10 years, and she was saying, think of the Titanic. Okay, they built this beautiful ship, this indestructible, supposed to be the most luxurious ship ever, and then it crashed and
Right, it
sunk.
sank.
And that's exactly what happened. They built this beautiful hotel, and then you had the Depression hit, and then it sunk.
Yeah. No, that's a, I mean,
That's a good comparison, though.
Yeah.
great comparison.
Yeah, definitely. So, it became known as a place that serial killers could let their hair down. New owners in 2007, they went ahead and refurbished parts of the hotel, spending a staggering $26 million in trying to transform parts of the hotel into a stay-on Main, a boutique mid-priced hotel. I think Terry knows more about the...
Yeah, well, what they did is they made a hotel inside of a hotel. Because when they originally were going to try to remodel it, they were trying to get rid of like the permanent tenants and not have it be a long-term living place. And as they were, putting out eviction notices and stuff, the city came back and put like a stop, cease and desist, because the way that it was zoned and because of Skid Row, they had to allow those tenants to stay. And so they were getting such bad reviews for the Cecil Hotel. What they did is they made floors 1 and 2 of the hotel the tenants, and then floors, I want to say 3 to 7 was the stay on Main. And they actually made a completely separate lobby, separate entrance, everything for the stay on Main versus the Cecil Hotel. And then floors 8 to 15 were still the Cecil Hotel. So depending on where you were staying, you had separate entrances. The only downside that they couldn't separate was the elevator.
Right.
Because the elevator went to all the floors. So people would say they would walk in and see this, beautiful lobby, but as soon as they got onto that elevator, it was like going through a time machine.
Wow.
And then they get to their rooms, and they tried to remodel it and decorate it, but they had such little money to work with, so first you paint it and you put new linens, but there's only so much, you can do before the money runs out.
Right.
You're talking. So they basically renovated 6-7 floors ish, somewhere in there, and a lobby in the $26 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, and considering the fact that it was only built for, $15 million, and so they renovated it for almost double of what it originally would have cost to build.
Mm-hmm. And so, so even though they had this separate lobby and the separate entrance, you were still running into the tenants and the people staying at the Cecil Hotel in the elevators. So there wasn't quite separation as much as they wanted. But the people that were staying at the stay on Main, they were started getting positive reviews. It started, bringing in more tourists. That it was helping their revenue having that stay on Main part of the Cecil Hotel.
Positive Yelp review.
Yeah.
Positive.
And then the Cecil, which is the other part of the building, has
1 star.
Negative stars.
Yeah.
So did you say that the elevator was old and gross, and
Yeah.
so it was as bad as the one at the Binion's Horseshoe? In
I don't know
Vegas?
if it was that bad.
You know that?
That elevator was bad. It was scary to get on that elevator.
I've never been in that.
It's in the parking garage, and you take it to go down to go to Fremont Street.
Oh,
Dude, it's a horribly gross and scary
that's where
elevator.
you
It's the
push,
one where the light flickers a little bit, and there's mystery stains everywhere.
you push the button with your shirt or with something
No, I just
else
used my
in your
finger.
hand.
I never even thought about that.
And then you stand in the middle and don't touch any of the walls because
Right.
you're afraid you're going to stick to them.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
said it became a popular place for suicide, right, Jamie?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Sorry.
No, she said it became a place where serial killers could let
Their hair down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was.
Which is kind of like the little segue into...
Well, what if the serial killers had short hair?
Well, they let
That one
their
did.
wigs down.
Yeah. The wigs.
Yes.
I didn't know they wore wigs.
So the hotel was sold again to a New York hotelier named Richard Bourne in 2014 for $30 million.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
It's not worth that much. It can't be.
No.
I mean, he had to have big plans for that if he purchased it for $30 million.
Oh, he has huge.
Mike's inhaling the Skittles.
Oh,
Oh, no.
is that what that was?
I think it's the Skittles and the peanut butter.
It was the skill. Just I went to go speak.
It attacked you.
I inhaled.
That's what he did with
no.
Scotch in the middle of Scotland, too.
Oh, I embarrassed us in Scotland, dude.
I've done that
I made all
before.
Utah fans look like a-holes. Because wearing my Utes hat, and I was just trying to freeze.
Wrong pop, right?
Yeah.
Wrong pipe.
Yeah.
I've done that with Hershey's chocolate syrup. It gets caught
Yeah.
back here and you gag.
Make sure
Oh
that
my
you can
gosh.
breathe.
Yeah. No,
Spasm here.
we can wait all the time you need.
I think I'll be okay.
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 I think so. But I forgot what I was going to say. It was cool,
right.
though.
Well, I'm going to
Oh, I was
restart.
going to say because of the real estate. It's because of that's
Yeah.
why.
The land.
Oh yeah, anything
The property.
in L.A.
The property.
You kidding?
Yeah.
It's definitely not because of the location.
Oh,
in
definitely not.
It's in the
Skid Row.
it's in the state of California. It's expensive. Everything's
Yep.
there.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
It's like in that cheap Monopoly piece, Baltic Avenue or whatever that is, that really cheap ghetto.
Yeah, but it's like getting Baltic Avenue, but having to pay like
Then put it on
30 million.
hotels on
boardwalk
it.
Right.
prices.
I have 5 hotels on it.
So developer Simon Barron subsequently acquired a 99-year ground lease in 2015. However, its doors will remain closed for hotel guests for the
At least from like the city.
unforeseeable future. I don't know, but I'm guessing it's probably from the city.
It's closed for the foreseeable future.
It's closed for the foreseeable future. So they had some big plans to do renovations. They closed it in 2017 to renovate the building. But due to COVID and other delays, they're just not able to get the renovations done. So this is a statement from Barron. It says, "We have no intention right now of reopening the hotel. Originally, we were going to rebuild the whole thing and build a hotel with apartments. However, right now, as construction was scheduled to begin, COVID-19 started sweeping through the nation and the entire globe, so we never really got started. It's tough to build a hotel during COVID. Well, that's like hard to do anything
Understatement.
during COVID,
Especially in California.
right? They've been shut down for over a year.
Yeah.
He said there's a lot of more difficult things going on in the world than that decision. It didn't have a set design plan before, and the entire project has been placed on the back burner with no expected timeline for reopening," he said. "There may be some new upgrades once summer rolls around, but for now, it's tabled."
So isn't that just like a big lost investment then?
Yes,
And
it
then
is.
You paid $30 million.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now it's just
Oh, yeah.
Now you eat
not
it.
getting anything off of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, to be rich. Oh, it's paid $30 million. We'll let it sit for a while.
That's chump
We'll let it
change.
percolate.
Yeah. But you got to figure, because the property's worth so much money, right? Even if you sit on that property and not do
just
anything with it,
appreciating.
yeah, it's just going to appreciate because real estate's valuable
Even on
there.
Skid Row.
Yeah. So, and they're even talking, crazy enough, they're talking about putting in like a pool on the roof.
That, you will
more
all
ta-
understand by the time this episode is over why that is
That's
the
poor taste.
dumbest idea to do for this hotel.
Do an indoor pool on the first floor.
If you don't know the story of this hotel, you will know why.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is just awful. And, you got to wonder, too, though, well, even if they, let's say they gut the whole thing and they put in marble everything and they make this.
Turn it into a Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah. Do you think they're ever going to get past, all of the death and pain and
Nope.
sorrow that this building has absorbed over the years?
You got to think of all of the energy that has been left there from everything that's happened.
But even the neighborhood. Just
The
going back to the
neighborhood,
neighborhood.
where
I
it's
mean,
at.
Oh, yeah.
It's maybe the Ritz-Carlton, but if it's like a war zone getting to it, no one wants to go there.
Nobody wants to go there. So that is the wonderful and brief history of the Cecil Hotel.
Building.
Now that the
Building
finances are out of
itself.
the way,
Yeah.
let's talk about the fun, scary stuff.
Well, let's start with all the deaths that have happened in this hotel. It became such a popular location for suicide, and so many people had jumped off the roof that the owners of the adjacent parking lot actually sued the hotel for all the bodies that was landing on their parking lot.
Oh, my word.
That's how bad it was.
Do we have any information on how that lawsuit came out?
I don't have any information about how that
I'm
lawsuit
actually
came
really
out.
intrigued to know.
You can try to find if you can, but I couldn't find anything other than that they sued the hotel.
Yeah, I didn't even come across that. The thing that's crazy is it didn't take long for the first death
Nope.
in that building.
Not at all.
I don't think we know exactly how long, but because
Yeah, we don't have an opening date. We just have a year.
right. But the first death was January 22nd of 1927.
And it opened in 1927.
Opening year.
Yeah, so we're talking opening month, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, heck, sadly enough, it could have been opening day.
Yeah. Who knows?
So unfortunately, a 52-year-old man by the name of Percy Ormond Cook committed suicide in the hotel room after failing to reconcile his relationship with his wife and child.
Yep. And shot himself.
Yeah, it's super, super sad.
Okay, and the second death was in November 19th of 1931. It was a guy by the name of W.K. Norton. He was 46 years old, and he died from poison ingestion. He took capsules full of poison. Don't know what poison.
And not sure what type of capsules, but I'm thinking like rat poison type
Probably.
of deal, which is just not cool.
How's the next one?
Well, I think everybody just carried around bottles of poison in their pockets.
Right?
I do.
Well, it's just like they used to carry those little snuff tins too. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yep.
Snuff tin, poison tin. You know, it's all
Well, maybe they
kind
got it mixed up. I don't know.
Well, let's see. I got some here that I don't have a lot of details on. But in 1934, Benjamin Dodich committed suicide by gunshot.
Yep. And then in July of 1934, Sergeant Lewis Borden slashed his throat in his hotel room. And plenty of suicides continued through the 50s and 60s. And it became known as the Suicide Hotel.
Well, yeah, I mean, I found a stat here that they said there were, now I don't know if this is true or not, but they said there were only 16 deaths that occurred in and around the building, which sounds like there might have been more, especially with the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. But 12 of those were suicide. Mm-hmm. So you're like 90% death in that building is by suicide.
Yeah.
Which is just absolutely crazy. And so
That was Sergeant Lewis Borden.
some weird dates here. 1938, Grace E. Magro fell from the building.
Yeah, 9th-story window. Her fall was broken by telephone wires that had gotten wrapped around her body. So the firefighters had to go up there and get her down. And then she later died in the hospital. And police were never able to determine if it was an accident or if it was suicide. How would it be to have your fall broken by telephone wires?
Ow.
Ow.
You just...
Well, if you're gonna jump, I mean, I think when you jump, I think you're expecting to hit that ground pretty hard, and so to have it broken
by wires?
Not only is that painful, I don't know if there was any kind of sparking or electrical stuff going on, but still, just like, ow.
Yeah.
And then you die.
And then you die. Yeah, you're expecting something quick and painless, relatively speaking. But yeah, then you get that. And then in 1939, a 39-year-old Irwin... Sorry, how are you?
Oh, I had one before that.
Sorry, 1938.
Do you still have yours before that too?
Do you have Roy Thompson?
That's what I'm
Okay,
looking
yep,
at.
go for it.
You get Roy Thompson, a 38-year-old, jumped from the top floor of the building and landed on the skylight on the building next door.
Yep. And he was a Marine. Which I think is funny. You have a couple military through here that committed suicide. So it makes you wonder if it was like some kind of a PTSD situation they were going through, or...
I wonder if Sergeant Borden was related to Lizzie Borden.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know.
wondering.
Well, 1938 would have been in between World War I and World War II.
Yeah, because you have
So-
Sergeant Borden, now you have a Marine. And then the next one in 39 was Irwin C. Neblett, 39-year-old Navy officer who ingested poison. So another
Wow.
poison.
Another...
And another military.
Ugh. And then in 1940, you had a 45-year-old teacher by the name of Dorothy Sager, who also ingested poison.
Yep.
Where are they all getting it?
I don't know.
Like, hey, at the Cecil Hotel in the vending machine, you can get Oreos
Like I said,
or
it's
poison.
it's like everybody carries around a little bottle of poison. It's like
Yeah.
it's almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
right?
It was
Yeah.
all probably Acme brand.
See, now the next one is probably one of the more popular ones that a lot of people know of, was the 1944 with Dorothy Jean Purcell.
It's also probably the saddest one.
Yeah. So she was a 19-year-old that was staying there with her boyfriend.
Who was 38.
Yeah, who was 38. He was a jerk. She woke up to some major pains, not quite sure what was going on. So she went to the bathroom because they were in a room without a bathroom, went down the hall, ended up giving birth to a baby boy. She was unaware that she was even pregnant, which is even makes it worse because how could you be 19 and not know you're pregnant? She thought the baby was born dead. She didn't know what to do with it because she knew that if she went back, that her boyfriend would have gotten upset with her. So she dropped the baby out the window.
Aww.
And he fell. They actually ended up naming him John Doe number 13 because he was never named. When they did the autopsy, he had air in his lungs. So they knew that he was alive and he was breathing. So he wasn't stillborn. When she got put on trial, she pled not guilty, and she was found not guilty for reason of insanity. So she didn't even get charged for the murder.
Jeez.
I don't know how you can get that plea word.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone can get that plea.
Back in the 40s, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Before they had real psychiatrists.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now next, I don't know if you... I'm pretty sure you guys don't have this. Because remember how I told you the Black Dahlia was there?
Oh,
Right.
yes. I
Did
saw
you
a thing on that she had actually was at the bar.
She never stayed there, but she was at the bar getting drinks. And yeah, so Elizabeth Short had been at the bar for drinks in January 1947, and then she was later known as the Black Dahlia, had actually died. I don't know if it was like the next day or somewhere within that time where she was spotted at the bar there.
So that bar was the last time she was seen alive.
Uh-huh.
And then she was gone after that.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, super creepy. If it was like 50 years later, we could have a good suspect for it, but
Right?
it's still
Timeline
too
don't
early.
match.
Timeline just don't
timelines
match.
do not match.
He would have been 9.
Because there was...
Ramirez would have been 9, which
He was pretty messed up by that point.
he was.
Yeah.
And then I've got a I don't know what day we're on now.
Okay, that was 1947.
There we go. So then I got a Robert Smith.
Yep.
Age 35, jumped from the 7th-story window and died.
Yep.
He missed the poles. And then 54.
Yeah. Huh? October 22nd, 1954, Helen Gurney. She actually checked in under the name of Margaret Brown, but that was an alias because that's actually the unseekable Molly Brown that, everybody's heard of.
That's all right. Terry used to do that. We used to go to like the Pie Pizzeria, and she'd give like famous hockey players' names.
I would never give my
Right?
real name.
What's your name? Martin Brodeur. Funny, you don't look like a Martin.
I actually used to do a lot of the Grizzly hockey players. So
Rich Perrant,
Mick Vakuda.
Steve Vesna.
And anyways, so it's kind of like, who was she hiding from to check in? She checked in with a famous person's name. So, but she was 55 years old.
Clint Eastwood.
And she stayed in room 704, and she actually jumped from the window and landed on the hotel's marquee, is where she landed. So that was like almost right out the front of the building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I'd be nailing windows shut by now.
Right?
And that's why there's a lot of hotels now that the windows
The
never
windows
open.
open, or if they do, you get like 2
That-
inches.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, if you open those
So
windows.
people can jump out.
Yeah.
In 62, you had a Julia Frances Moore, age 50, who jumped from the 8th floor. I noticed a lot of like lower floor jumpers.
Yeah. So, and she was found on the 2nd story interior light well. And a lot of people claimed that a lot of these suicides were because people were down on their luck. They were poor. They didn't have money. But she actually had $1,800 in her bank account when she jumped, which is a lot of money for 1962.
Heck, it's a lot of money now.
It's a lot of money now. I'd love to have $1,800 in my bank account.
Right?
But yeah, so obviously she wasn't poor by any means in that time frame.
Oh, this
What you got?
So I looked.
No,
I
the
couldn't
next
find
one.
anything on the interwebs about this lawsuit. All I could find was about one famous case that we're going to talk about. Lots of lawsuits about that one. But nothing about another property. I probably didn't dig very far.
This next one is
And it's Bing. What do you want?
it's interesting because you have a double.
Oh yeah, the two people died on the same day, October 12th. Yeah.
Yep. So Pauline Otten, age 27, got into an argument with her husband. So to teach the guy a lesson,
I'll show him.
she jumped from the 9th-story building, 9th-story window, and fell 90 feet and landed on a 68-year-old man who just happened to be walking by.
Yeah. See, and at first they weren't quite sure if maybe it was like a double jump and they were committing suicide together. But
Yeah, 27-year-old Paulina and 65-year-old
Yeah.
George Giannini.
so, but upon
Jumping together.
more research, apparently this is the odd, funny part. You lose your shoes when you jump off a building. So the way they knew that he didn't jump is he still had his shoes on.
I never thought that you didn't have shoes on.
I can't wrap my brain around that, honestly, because I haven't dealt with a whole lot of people that have like jumped
No,
off buildings and
it's kinda
committed
true.
suicide.
I've
but
seen that.
but that was how they kind of figured out that he was on the ground and she landed on top of him and killed him.
Just look for you got forensic evidence, right?
But he also had his hands in his pockets at the time of his
Yeah,
death.
he had his hands in his pockets too.
Had he jumped, his
So
shoes
apparently
would have
you're not
fallen
going to jump
off
with your
and
hands in your pocket and your
hands would have
shoes
been
on.
in his pockets.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, like even like jumping into like the water and stuff like that, right? You don't jump with your hands.
And he's like,
Yeah.
do
Down.
I need an umbrella, dear?
When you jump in the water, you jump with your nose.
You plug your nose when you jump in the water.
I do.
So if you're going to jump off a building, be polite and holler Geronimo first or look out below. I don't know, something.
Scream the whole way down.
Yeah.
Of course, if he was
Incoming.
old, if he wasn't moving very fast, maybe he wouldn't have got out of the way anyway.
I don't know.
Maybe he stopped, looked up in fear, and was like, oh my gosh.
I honestly don't even think he saw it coming. I think
I don't
she
think he
just
did either.
landed right on him.
Well, 90 feet will happen in like 2-3 seconds. So
Right,
like
yeah.
it's not going to take long for her to make contact. So
Whatever. I've seen movies that takes like 10 seconds for them to fall that far.
that's because they shoot it from 17 different angles and
Yeah, but-
make you wait.
Like, good example of that is Wile E. Coyote.
Sometimes he doesn't even fall,
No, he does. He holds up the sign, uh-oh, and...
Yeah,
and then looks down and then
yeah.
falls.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that way in real life?
I've tried; it doesn't work.
You have.
Jeez.
Hold up several signs. Uh-oh. This was a bad idea.
And then
Goodbye.
But I'm falling anyway, so it's like that doesn't work.
All right. Sad, though.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
sad.
Very
Especially
sad.
where it's like, if people are trying to kill themselves, I mean, and he's just
Innocently
victim of-
passing
yeah.
by.
Just out for a pleasant
stroll.
just out for a pleasant roll down
Leisure
Skid Row.
Yeah.
This is where everybody wants to walk.
He was probably walking back home from buying drugs from a prostitute.
And
Maybe
then
that was God striking him dead.
I hope not.
Oh, we've gone sugar high.
So,
Yeah.
and then the next one was October 12th of 1962. Her name was,
June of 64.
June 4th of 1964. It was Goldie Osgood. She was also known as Pigeon Goldie. She was a 65-year-old who had kind of retired at the hotel as just a tenant there. And she would spend her days feeding the pigeons in the park and cheering on her Dodgers. She was found dead in her room. She'd been raped, stabbed, strangled, and robbed. And her murder remains unsolved. They had actually arrested a guy who was covered in blood at the park, thinking that he is the one that had killed her, but they could never make the connection. And so her
Was
murder
that-
is still left unsolved.
Was that Jacques Ellinger?
Yes.
Yeah. Why are you covered in blood, sir? Skid
Typical
Row.
Wednesday.
Just
Like,
happens.
Skid Row gets blamed for a lot on this.
It's easy to.
It is easy to. I mean, because Skid Row really was just a dumping ground. I mean, people would get checked out of mental institutions and they would just go and drop them off and drive away and just leave them there. Because that whole Skid Row area is where a lot of the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Prostitution.
Well,
Murder.
there was prostitution, there was
Drugs.
murder, there was the homeless shelters. We're all right there. It's all kind of like this block area. And so that's why the Skid Row was created there, was because of all the homeless shelters and
And you're trying to run a hotel.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think I remember the documentary talked about the police presence and it was very non-existent. They actually blocked off that area, so like they knew what Skid Row was. They just kind of like let it go.
Like Chaz.
Yeah. Just let it go. And just let them kind of do their own thing. In 1975,
Yep.
December 20th, a woman who was thought to be 23 jumped from the 12th floor. She had registered at the hotel a week earlier under the name of Allison Lowell, but her real identity isn't known, and well, it's not solved.
Yeah, she was a fake name. She was actually staying in room 327, so she was actually on the 3rd floor, but she jumped from the 12th. So
From whose window?
I don't know.
Well, it could have been the fire escape.
It could have been the fire escape. It could have been anything from the 12th floor, but she was staying on the 3rd floor. So
Next up is September 1st, 1992.
okay, well that's if you want to keep going with all of the murders, because Ramirez is next actually.
Oh, okay.
If you're going timeline. So if we want to keep going with the
I digress.
We can go on the timeline. We can talk about the Night Stalker staying at the hotel.
Okay. So then after Allison Lowell, you come to the summer of 1987, which was a big summer for California. We talked
85.
about this. No, 1985. I said 87, didn't I?
Yeah.
You did.
Okay, 85. We talked a lot about the summer of 85 on our last podcast. Richard Ramirez stayed at the Cecil Hotel while he was committing most of his murders that summer. He stayed on the top floor for 1.5 months, and he paid $14 a night for his room. He was known to strip in the alleyway behind the hotel after he'd committed his murders and leave all of his bloodstained clothes in the dumpster and then walk to his room in his underwear. And a lot of the people in the hotel there just didn't really bat an eye at that, because it was common to see people hallucinating, high on drugs, walking around half naked in the hotel.
He walks in there, it's like, hey, Ricky, what's up?
Look, you're covered in blood again. Cool.
So, I mean, he never committed any of his killings at the hotel. I'm pretty sure that he did a lot of drugs and locked himself in his room at this hotel. But the question is did the dark energy within this hotel affect him while he was staying there?
I'll bet it did.
I'm sure it did.
We got to wonder too, like, it may have affected him in that avenue, but like, you got to figure he probably gave it as more than he got it.
Yeah. I'm sure
yeah.
he put out just as much negative energy there as he received.
Yeah. So, and you know, I mean, it's funny because like he was stealing at that time, right? He was stealing what, about $1,500 to $1,800 a week
For his
pays
cocaine
for
for
habit.
his cocaine habit. So all he could afford was $14
$14 a night in this hotel.
Yeah,
And he was on the top floor.
Penthouse.
Yep.
penthouse suite.
But you know, if you listen to the last show, we did talk a lot about some of the things that he went through with the seizures and the dreams about the monsters and stuff. And I'm sure that there was plenty of negative energy or negative entities in that building that would prey upon
And feed off of him.
that altered state. Even when he was high, you know, cocaine, heroin, whatever it was on, I think that those things would totally feed, you know, take that opening and convince him to do more and more.
Yeah, 100%.
Feed off of it.
Okay, now you have the second serial killer that was there, kind of in his homage to Richard Ramirez.
See?
Yeah.
This guy has he has short hair.
The interesting thing is, I've never heard of this guy.
I've never heard of this guy either.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
You had?
Well, I have now.
Did you know before the research on this?
Maybe I've heard of him, but
Well, maybe it's one of those things because he's not an American born.
He's not American born, and he only killed 4 in the U.S.
Yeah, so like,
So he might have just kind of been under the radar,
yeah, I think so.
because then he got extradited.
he's like barely even a serial killer. Like,
well, in the
Here
US, yeah.
in the U.S.
But his name was Jack Unterweger.
Wigger.
He's Austrian.
Jack
so
Hefferweisen.
it would be Unterwagen.
Unterwager.
Unterwager. He was a journalist from Austria that stayed at the hotel. He was writing a story about red light districts in L.A. Skid Row, I mean, obviously is where this hotel is located and is known for being a hotspot for sex workers, because that's just gross. Unterwager was investigating this in the area and even went on drive-alongs with police. He would regularly engage with police and sex workers, and even had sex workers come and visit him in his room at the Cecil Hotel.
With the police officers.
And all for $50 a
Just
night.
kidding. It was a party, dude.
He was becoming a well-known face in the area. Some would say a celebrity. Unknown to everybody else, everyone in the States, he was a convicted killer and rapist in Austria. So in 1974 in Austria, he was sentenced over the sexual assault and murder of a young woman. He was released in the 1990s and got his job as a journalist.
Well, because while he was in prison, he actually wrote his story. And that's how he became such a famous journalist.
By writing an autobiography
Yep. While in jail.
for committing a rape and murder.
Yep.
And then he had all kinds of groupies, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Just like Ramirez did. People thought he was a man who had changed his ways. Almost instantly in the area he was living, women began going missing and being found dead. He was the main suspect in these crimes, so he fled to America, and the murder stopped in Austria and then picked up in L.A.
Do you know what his MO was? How they knew which ones he murdered?
They were the prostitutes?
Well, they were the prostitutes. He would strangle them with their bras. That's how they knew that it was him. Because that was kind of what he
rude.
would left behind. He would leave them strangled with their bras.
I would almost think in Skid Row they weren't wearing any. That's just what I'm imagining in my head. I'm just...
You know, I kind of thought the same thing, actually.
They're wearing, like, yoga pants, short things, and, like... I don't even know.
Well, that would have been the 90s, so it would have been yoga
Tiny
pants.
tank top.
It would have been like mini skirts and, tank tops.
Halter tops.
Halter tops.
That's what the all the movies showed us in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I saw Pretty Woman.
Right? That was 90s.
That was L.A., too.
Oh, true story.
True Hollywood story. It's a real show.
So police ended up catching Unterwegen in Miami after tracing his credit card. He was eventually extradited to Austria, and despite maintaining his innocence, he was found guilty of 9 murders. And then just after hours of his sentence, he committed suicide in a cell at the age of
Couldn't
43.
face his own.
Epsteined it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he killed 3 in California and then killed 1 in Miami. So he only killed 4 in America. Not only, but still that's considering 9 in Austria.
Yeah, so it puts him 13.
Yeah.
That puts him right in line with Ramirez in the body count.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be interesting if they had stayed there at the same time, though? I mean, I know they were like a decade apart almost.
Yeah,
but
well, they'd say that he stayed there kind of in an homage because of Richard Ramirez had stayed there.
Interesting. Do we have it written anywhere what room these guys stayed in?
No, I just know that Richard Ramirez was on the
Like,
top
is there
floor.
a Richard Ramirez suite?
Doubtful.
I don't know.
Did they pay extra for that one? Because people would.
Some
they
people
would now, yeah.
Yeah, they would
It's
now.
like that room on the Queen Mary that's like crazy expensive. That's the most haunted. And
Because it's the most haunted one.
Yeah.
you know there's some dark energy in that room.
Oh, and yeah, with the love of the paranormal now.
Oh, yeah.
Like people would.
Would you stay in that room?
Yeah,
100%.
I don't know if I'd want to.
I would.
I would.
Jamie's like, heck yeah.
Could you sleep in that room?
Yes,
It would take me a while, but eventually
I would be hit the pillow asleep.
you're like that anywhere.
I know.
I mean, I know even if he's there, he's still just a ghost. He can't really do much to you, but still.
Oh, they can torment you pretty much.
Eh.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a bit more of a wuss. I was like, I don't know.
thing is with the way he was as a human, like
He's sitting there watching you anyway.
Well, then you're gonna start feeling. No.
Yeah, no.
That's where you put some, I don't know, some extra protection on your body.
Yeah.
All right.
That could be a lot of things, by the way.
I know.
Sorry.
I didn't have a good a good thing to say. So
I know, that's why I stepped in.
Got to stop this one before it gets out of control.
Sorry to interrupt.
And then in 1992, an unidentified man was found lying dead in the alley behind the hotel. And it's believed that he either fell, jumped, or was pushed out of the window on the 15th floor.
Yeah, he's still unidentified. They still have not identified him.
But he was 20 to 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Puddle.
That's about all we can tell you. 23-year-old puddle.
Yeah. So, and then the next most famous one was in 2013. Before we get to that one, though,
Let's skip over that one.
we're going to come back to that one because the most recent one happened in 2015. On June 13th, a 20-year-old man was found outside the hotel. Some suspected that he may have committed suicide by jumping from the hotel, but the county coroner informed LA Times that the cause of death had not been determined. So they don't even know how he died. He was just outside the hotel. So they don't know if he fell from the hotel, if he overdosed and died on the sidewalk by the hotel. They don't have much information.
Yeah.
Well, but if he jumped, I mean, he's going to have a whole bunch of broken bones and...
Liquefied innards.
You would think, but after watching all of these, Fast and Furious movies, you don't break bones when you fall.
That's because they're so accurate.
Yeah,
You ever go look into Hollywood to tell us the truth
You can
about
also do flips in a semi.
What? You haven't done that before?
I tried it once. I didn't make it all the way over.
So, but to kind of bring in the paranormal aspect of it, guests that have stayed there have reported seeing dark figures in their rooms. There has been reports of extremely cold spots around the hotel. There's unexplained noises, ghosts pulling their sheets off of them while they're sleeping. A lot of women have heard a baby crying. So I don't know if this is that one baby that was dropped from the window. So there's a lot of mystery on part of the reason why so many of these women that have fallen out of windows, they think they might have heard the baby crying. So they're poking their head out the window to see if they can find a baby, kind of try to comfort this baby that they're hearing, and then something's pushing them out of the window. Maybe the baby trying to get revenge from his mom, dropping him out the window.
That's called defenestration.
One guest claims that he was being choked by a ghost in the middle of the night while he was sleeping. So he went to the lobby and demanded to be moved to another room. Once he got settled in the next room, he slept the rest of the night just fine. But in the morning, he found out that his original room was where one of the murders had taken place.
Ooh.
So maybe when this place reopens, if it does, we need to go.
I would love to, honestly.
I'll stay over at the condo by Disneyland with the kids. I'll babysit. You guys can go spend the night up there.
Oh, this is only 40 minutes from Disneyland.
That's amazing.
And some of the locals have actually dubbed it as the actual Tower of Terror.
I could see why, though.
Fitting.
Right?
Well, here's the interesting thing. So in the research that I went through and looked up, they said there were only 16 deaths. But when the hotel manager was interviewed, he said that between 2007 and 2017, there's been at least 80 deaths in the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. When she was first hired and they were walking around, she was walking around with the maintenance guy. He was like, there's been a death here. There's been a death here. There's a death here. She's like, is there any rooms here that there hasn't been a death in? Because there has been so many deaths in this hotel. You know? And these are only the ones that we actually know that are reported and recorded. She said there's between 70 to 80?
Yeah, but at least 80.
At least 80?
But see, these are probably just all the suspicious ones like that, murders or suicides. I mean,
Yeah.
old people die all the time and all over the place.
Well, and there's a lot of drug overdoses that happen there.
Yeah, I imagine there's a ton of drug
She was
overdoses.
talking about how many times a day she would have to call 911 just because of the people
Yeah,
that stayed in this hotel.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, no, it makes total sense. It's just interesting when you think about it, right? Because you're like, oh, how many people have died in the Cecil Hotel? And people are like, well, there's only 16 deaths. And then you start looking deeper and you're like, no, there's a lot more than 16.
I think it'll
lot
be interesting
more.
to find out from pretty much any hotel you stay in how many people have died there.
Yeah.
True.
In in some cases, do you really want to know? the
No.
answer to
Nope.
that?
I would prefer not to.
So we skipped over the most famous death in the building.
Yeah.
That's the only one I could find all the lawsuits on.
This is the one we're circling back to February of 2013.
Go ahead.
Okay. So February 19th of 2013, Elisa Lamb was a 21-year-old. At this time, she was found naked in the water tank on top of the hotel. Hence why putting a pool on top of the hotel is a very bad idea.
Such a bad
The
idea.
Lisa Lamb Memorial Pool.
taste.
She had gone missing for almost 3 weeks before she was found. But the creepy thing is the whole circumstances that happened before she went missing.
Yeah. So she checked in on January 26th in 2014, and she checked in to the Stay on Main side
Yeah,
of
so
the
she
hotel.
was not part of the. Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't part of the
The Cecil Hotel. She was on the stay on it.
seedy side of the
Yeah.
hotel.
Supposedly.
Yeah. So early in her stay, she was relocated from a shared room to a private room.
Because the people in that shared room were complaining about how
Erratic and like
weird
strange she was
how
acting.
strange she was, yeah.
Well, she was Canadian, so I mean, they're just a different breed.
It's true. They are different.
They're
but,
odd ducks,
Yes.
for sure.
But then she was last seen on January 31st. Her parents, who had been, talking to her daily, quickly reported her missing. So when they started looking in her room, they found her wallet, ID, laptop, her medications, all just sitting in the room.
Yeah, she'd left everything in there.
Just everything. Which obviously is nowadays you look at it and you're like, well, that's usually a sign of like bad things because people just don't usually go missing without taking their stuff, right?
They don't. If they intend to come back, they don't just leave everything.
Right.
behind.
Or if they were taken, they're not going to be grabbing their stuff.
Yeah, and the hotel didn't even find it suspicious because people leave stuff behind all the time. So they just backed up her stuff and put it on a shelf.
Yeah.
Didn't even think anything of it until she was reported missing.
And Jamie's worked in hotels before, and that's exactly what they do, isn't it?
Yeah, we're required to bag everything up and label it and put it on a shelf in the back room for so long.
Yeah. And
And then
there's
after
no
a
thought.
month, it's yours.
90 days, actually.
Dentures,
Right? Underwear.
underwear.
Other miscellaneous marital aids.
Yeah. Well, I have stories, but that's for another time.
So the LAPD put out a bulletin about Lamb's disappearance, mentioning that she spoke both English and Cantonese, and that she used public transportation, possibly having mild depression, which is insane, considering the fact that she was bipolar, and was ultimately heading to Santa Cruz, California.
Yeah, she was on this big, huge, long trip on her own for the first time. Convinced her parents to let her go. She's 21. I'm an adult. I want to adventure out there and experience life. So she originally had actually taken a train from Canada down to San Diego and stayed at San Diego first.
Yep.
And then she had posted pictures on her Facebook of going to the San Diego Zoo. And then she went from San Diego to the Cecil Hotel.
And then she went missing.
And then they actually ended up doing like a search for her. They searched the hotel. They put up flyers all over. They did a press conference with her parents. They were doing everything they could to find her.
Yeah, and she just seemed to completely vanish. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is the last known footage of her is from the security camera in the elevator. And
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'd say if you have not seen this, go watch it
Oh, yeah.
right now and then come back.
It's all over YouTube. It is not hard to find this video. But you can see her, in the video. She's acting erratic. She even steps out of the elevator and like looks down the hall and actually it looks like she's actually talking to somebody.
Yeah, and her hands are like
Moving
in erratic ways and not normal, and it's creepy, really creepy to watch.
super creepy.
Because like at first she seems fine, but then the door doesn't shut, and then she jumps back in and she kind of hides in the corner like she's trying to hide from somebody, and then she keeps peeking out, like looking at something, and you're like, what's out there? And sadly, there's no camera in the hallway.
Nope. So, this obviously leads to people thinking that there was an abduction, or other people have speculated that she's seeing spirits and she's talking to ghosts, and that this was a paranormal phenomenon that was happening. Others, if you look at the rest of the evidence, think she's probably having a psychotic episode.
Yeah.
That's going on. So now the part that Terry alluded to. So on February 19th, a maintenance worker was accessing the roof because there was complaints of foul smelling and tasting water.
Discolored,
It was discolored, yeah.
foul tasting.
and-
They had low water pressure.
Right. So this led them to go up to the roof where there's 4 big water tanks up there. And
And they had already searched the roof at one point in time for her.
right, they searched the roof, but not
they
the
didn't
towers.
look in the water tanks.
Right. No one thought to go look in the water tanks.
Yeah.
And so one of the workers looked into one of the 4x8 foot access hatches to the tank, and there was Elisa Lamb's body floating in the water.
Yeah, floating naked in the water. Yeah, they called it dead lady juice. Ew.
Okay, so I've seen bodies that have been floating before, and it is probably the nastiest thing you can ever see on a body. And I can only imagine the juice.
Yeah, I mean,
It was 24 days that she was in that
she
tank.
had been in that tank, and that's just. Could you imagine? If I'm ever staying anywhere and there's any discoloration in my water, I am not doing anything with that water.
I want to drink it.
So, what's funny, so I was looking up what you were talking about earlier. I was like, well, right now I'm watching this Elisa Lam video in the elevator thing, which is, because I haven't seen it. So I'm watching it as we're talking about it. But the only thing I could find lawsuit-wise was people suing over her death. There was her family doing negligent lawsuit, but there was a couple named the Cotts who sued the hotel because they were promised when they paid for their $140 for 2 nights, or it was $150 for 2 nights, that they would have clean running water that was drinkable, and they were not provided with that. And so they were sued the hotel.
Did they win?
I doubt it. It's not like that's a negligence thing on the hotel's part. They don't know.
They didn't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. This is the part that I find disturbing in a sense, right? So it wasn't until day 24 that she was found. Mm-hmm. But her body was in there for 23 days prior. So people were still showering, drinking,
brushing their teeth.
You're assuming
with her body water.
You're assuming she was in that water the whole 23 days. What if she was put in there like day 20 or day 15?
Yeah. I would have to see the body to tell you how long it's been in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to find out.
I don't want to know either, but, you know. But even still, it's gross to think, you know, that people were almost a whole month in her dead lady juice.
But still, it does lead. There's so many questions with it. You know, like Terry said, it could have been something where it was a body dump versus, you know.
So the coroners, they did their investigation and autopsy, and they determined that it was accidental drowning. But her bipolar disorder was a significant contributing factor to her death.
But here's the odd thing is they found her medication in her blood, so she wasn't even off her medication.
See, I heard opposite of that.
Yeah, the Netflix thing says that she had been off it. And
but there's a lot of conspiracies on whether her toxicology report was doctored.
Was fudged.
Always a possibility.
Because the funny thing is they're saying, because some of the research that I found said they found her bipolar medicine in her blood, but they couldn't find any other drugs in her blood. So, because they would say that her body had been in there for so long that a lot of the toxins had already left her bloodstream. But how would they know that she was on her bipolar medication? How could they test that but not test the other drugs? How could they get the results of one and not the other? That's my question.
It's not like this is the 80s either. I mean, this is 2013. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
We had PlayStation 3 by then, right?
Oh, I don't
2018?
know.
13.
13. Oh, no. That's threes.
I don't know. We have the technology, right? They could do all this.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is it so inconclusive? I mean...
I'm going to have to rewatch it because I swore that they said that her medication was in her room and they went through and they counted the pills.
Yeah, because her medication,
she hadn't been taking them because she had like a full supply, and had she been taking them even before she disappeared, she shouldn't have had nearly that many pills.
And I could easily see two differing sources out there putting. I mean,
exactly.
We find that in pretty much everything that we.
Oh yeah,
do
contradiction and everything. Yeah,
for sure.
Well, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say, so they released her video of the surveillance camera before they actually found her. And so there was already like Facebook groups trying to figure out, you know, where she went and trying to figure out the story of this whole surveillance video. They found out there was like almost a minute missing from this surveillance video.
I did hear that. I remember
this
that.
Is the elevator video?
Yes. Yeah. And so the elevator video has been doctored.
Yep.
Apparently. Like even like the timeline on the bottom of it is kind of like scrubbed so you can't really see.
Oh, no, you can't tell anything. It looks like Klingon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of complaints about that. so all like, these people were like on a mission to try to find her, just having this video. And the reason why they released this video is because at the time, maybe you can help me remember this because I can't remember the guy's name. There was a police officer in California that became a police murderer.
You know about Mark Furman with the Rodney?
I don't know. Hold on.
Mark Furman was the O.J. Simpson. Sorry.
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who you're talking
Once
about.
I say his name, you're going to remember. Sorry, I don't. I should.
But no, yeah, watching this video, she's definitely talking to something. I'm looking at this, I'm like, that's not just someone who's having a bipolar episode. She's talking and interacting with something. Not a someone, something.
Christopher Dorner. You don't
Doesn't
remember
sound
this?
That name
No.
does sound familiar.
Okay,
but
I
can't
remember.
place
I
it.
remember. The weird thing is I remember more about Christopher Dorner than I remember about Elisa Lam at this time, because he was ex-military, retired, and then he was a police officer, and then he became a police killer, and he was on like this spree of, and so a lot of the police force that they had doing the search for Elisa Lam got pulled to go deal with this situation of Christopher Dorner, and that's why they ended up releasing the footage to try to get more help from the public,
yeah.
because they were getting so slimmed down on their resources of their own police officers.
Okay, I want to watch this video with a medium who can see stuff in the videos
Yes.
And see what she's talking to.
and see, if they can see anything.
See, and
there.
at one point when the door is being held open, she goes out and she kind of goes to the left of the screen down the hallway, and people say that there is a foot that you can still kind of see there, and then it disappears. But
I've tried seeing that.
But they don't know if it's her foot or somebody else's foot. And there's a lot of conspiracies that something or someone was out there holding the door open. But she goes in there and she pushes all the buttons right down the center of the panel. And the very bottom button in the middle is the hold the door button.
See, it's
Yeah.
fuzzy enough. Yeah, Hodor. Hodor.
Hold the door.
Hodor. But no, it's funny enough. It's like you can't quite tell if she pushes all of the buttons or if she just pushed.
That she goes down
You
the
don't know
center.
if she. But you don't know if she hit that one.
So some of the YouTubers and the bloggers actually went into the hotel to go do and see this.
But she's playing peekaboo with something, and then she's hiding around the corner.
Yeah. And so they went there and they timed it, and when you hit that hold door button, it would keep the door open for 2 minutes. Which
That's
is a really
extremely
long
long.
That's a
time.
considerable
Long
long
time.
A
time.
long time, because people kept figuring, why didn't the door close?
And I think that's where people were talking about that there was missing time because
Yeah,
they're like,
that's why there's that minute that's missing.
because they're like, well, that's not possible. Doors don't hold open that long. And so, I give people credit for trying to like figure out all of the little like nuances to these things to try to find a reasonable explanation to find her. Like, and I get it because you're talking about a hotel. It's Skid Row, like. You're worried about abduction and stuff like that. And because let's face it, that hotel was not exactly a wonderful place.
Dark history.
No.
Super dark history.
Yeah.
And like the clientele weren't the greatest either. Even if you were stay on Main, there were still another, 400 rooms available that weren't, good quality clientele.
See, I was wondering. I thought it was interesting. So I'm doing all the research on Richard Ramirez, right? And he dies in 2013, and I'm like, wait, she died in 2000. It's like maybe it's the ghost of Richard Ramirez. How crazy would that be if it? But this was in February, and he didn't die till June. So debunked.
Yeah,
I was
that
so
was one of
hopeful.
we were hopeful about that one. So hopeful about that one.
Because I don't think people have tied that or tried to tie that together in that light, right?
Yeah.
But thing is, like,
Because he was alive.
if you've been around people who are bipolar, like there have been cases of some crazy manic activity with them, and so like you can reasonably believe that this would be something that someone who was off medication having a severe manic episode would actually act in this manner.
Yeah. See, and another thought. So she was on the stay on Main side, right? Which were only levels 3 through, we were thinking maybe 7. Okay, this whole video took place on the 14th floor, which is technically the 13th floor of the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
So how did she get up so high? Once again, because they couldn't control the elevators.
Yep.
And so she ended up on the floor where she shouldn't even been because she was on the stay on Main side.
Yeah. And on that floor, because she did get out of the I mean, wherever she stopped, I think it was 14, right? Where she actually did exit the elevator.
They're claiming that it's floor 14.
Okay.
It's the brown floor.
So
Because they were saying that when she was hitting,
well, then there's an orange floor, and then there's
well, because as she was hitting the buttons, if you're already on that floor, the light's not going to light up, and
Oh, that's true.
that's how they kind of figured out she was on the 14th floor, because as she was hitting the buttons,
You just look-
there was the one that wasn't lighting up, which was
Oh.
number 14
gotcha. But she did get off the elevator, and
at one point. Yes,
they're like, well, how did she get onto the roof without notifying everything or anybody, right? Well, those areas are supposed to be alarmed so that people, the front desk knows that people
skid
have
row.
access.
yeah, because if they go through the roof access door, there's an alarm that goes off down at the front desk to let them know the roof
Right.
access door has been
at least they're
opened.
supposed to be.
Except it wasn't working.
Because I heard that after they found her body, they checked the door and it did work.
Yeah, see, I've heard both.
Now it
Yeah.
goes paranormal.
But Netflix had
Aliens.
Netflix actually had the Netflix documentary actually had a much more plausible solution for that. On that floor, if you went to where the access door was to the roof, if you just hung a left and
You go out the window.
go out the window onto the fire escape and whoop up
right
to
up
the roof,
the top.
and there you go. And people had been doing that, going up to the roof, because there's all sorts of other stuff they're finding up on the roof that
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah.
be there.
All
Condoms?
kinds of stuff. Oh my god.
Probably
Underwear.
Aliens.
aliens,
Aliens.
aliens.
Alien party.
Pepsi cans.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, the roof was accessible without going through the roof access door.
Yeah. So it's definitely an interesting scenario.
Yeah. There's so many conspiracies about this.
Yeah.
Because like with her hitting all the buttons down the middle of the elevator, there's a theory that it was a Korean elevator game. Have you heard about this? No. Okay. Let me find it here. So the Korean elevator game requires a building of at least 10 stories high and one player to enter the elevator alone and press a series of buttons in order to open a gateway to a parallel dimension. The new dimension looks much the same, except for its dark electronic devices don't work there, and once the elevator door reopens, you'll see nothing outside the windows but a red cross. If anything seems off, you're not supposed to leave the elevator.
Huh.
Well, she's definitely talking to something
And-
there after she does it.
And what year was this game invented?
I don't know.
It's more I've heard of this. So those urban explorer videos that I watch on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of those that I watched, they went to the Cecil Hotel and they played that game, and it's on YouTube. You can watch it.
And did they go to a parallel universe?
I did not finish it. I was working
Oh.
at the time. I just had it on next to me, but yeah.
Yeah, man, that is interesting.
Yeah, see, and like the police never ever found any evidence to suggest she killed herself, that it was suicide. It doesn't explain like all the events leading up to her death and how she got in the water tank when she could have just jumped off the roof like everybody else
Yeah,
if she was trying to commit suicide.
And I came up with a thought process on that too when we were watching it, and I wonder if it truly like an accidental thing, right? Because like if you're having these manic episodes, right? You're like, oh, I'm gonna just go jump in this tank, and then you realize that you can't get out.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
or
you're
she,
screwed.
or because she's having these episodes, she's easy target for those
Yeah.
unknown things.
yeah.
So who's to say that they didn't lead her
To do it.
to do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Because that was like one of the problems is she was in the tank, and once you get in the tank and you fall down in, how can you reach back up to close the hatch?
So we heard that the hatch was open.
See, because now there's
Conflicting reports.
conflicting reports whether it was open or closed. Because here's the thing, the maintenance worker was the one who found her,
Yes.
Yes.
and I think he went up there, and I think it was opened, and then he shut it, went down and told the manager he found the body, and then the police were called, and everybody went up there, and the hatch is now closed.
So that would explain the duality of the hatch, that it was found open.
Versus being found closed.
And that makes sense too. Like, I don't know if you came across that, right? You're like, oh, let's close that down. Like,
Yeah.
Let's not look at that for a minute. Let's let the cops come in. That way they know it's undisturbed type of deal.
See, and I think he might have just forgot that he closed it, just like oh my gosh, I found this body. What am I supposed to do? And just in the hustle and bustle of everything, he just had a brain cramp and forgot that he closed it, and he actually did find it open. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
So
if she did fall in, or if she did jump in and the hatch was open, there's no way for her to reach back up there and reclose it. There's no way to get out of that tank once you're in.
No. And the thing is, they're 10-foot tall water tanks. And they have completely vertical sides. And a little ladder, like a little rung ladder you got to climb to get up there. So if it was a person or two people, right, who kidnapped or murdered her or whatever, then shoved her body in the tank, the ability to lift someone up and carry them up there is severely hampered.
Well, and they said that there were no marks on her body.
Yeah.
No scrapes, no cuts, no bruising, no nothing.
Yeah. They didn't even show like there was a struggle or a fight.
So if someone hauled her unconscious body up there, there would have been scrapes or some sort, and then pushed her through there. Or even
See, then her clothes were found in the bottom of the tank too.
Yeah.
Which means she was in her clothes when she went into the tank.
So there's a theory that maybe she stripped them off to help from being weighted down to not drown.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the Korean elevator game started making the rounds on Korean social media in 2009 to 10.
Okay, this is in 2013.
And it looks like
it's early
this
enough.
person said that in any language, the earliest that they've been able to find was dated November 22nd of 08.
Okay, so
it's still within a few years.
That's definitely, well, I mean, as long as it predates,
it had been
right?
It had been around, yes.
It'd have to, it's like, oh yeah, it came out in 2018. Well, that's not going to be accurate.
I can see him making it up because of this video.
Well, true, right?
But
yeah, it's a tough one to work through. I mean, I have my thoughts on what happened to her, and they
is it aliens?
No, definitely not aliens.
Yeah, because there's conspiracy that somebody in the hotel, an employee, had something to do with it. I mean, on her blog, a couple days before, she had complained about a creeper that had been staying in the hotel. So it's possible that some guy was stalking her, whether on purpose or not. So that could have been who she was trying to hide from, or trying to hide her body. And it's unclear if they even did a rape kit on her to find out if she had been raped. So they don't even know if she'd been raped.
Yeah, it's such a.
So what's your theory, Josh? Let's share our theories.
I actually side with the police on this one.
Suicide?
No, accidental drowning. With a hugely contributing factor of bipolar disorder.
Yep.
I have been around bipolar people. I've seen how they act, and this would be on par with those.
Mm-hmm. But see, and that's where, back to the creeper thing with her pushing the buttons, that could be her trying to foil what floor she's supposed to be staying on, so they don't know what floor she's getting off on.
Right.
But no, I agree. That it's an accidental drowning because of that.
Well, I think it's an accidental drowning, sure. I don't think she intended to get in there and commit suicide. But personally, so I'm going back to the old days where any kind of a mental disorder is demons, right? I think that there was something negative there that was controlling her and taking advantage of those weaknesses that she had. And I think there was something nefarious that kind of led her into that predicament where she, like I said, so it's accidental drowning or murder by ghost. I don't know.
Yeah,
murder by demon.
Yeah, because
does that make sense?
Well,
yeah, it makes total sense.
I have no evidence, but that's just kind of what.
With all of the numerous suicides, murders, the bizarre accidental deaths, there's something there.
There's got to be something there that propagates these things.
At least one.
And with the ghost stories, some say that Lamb was being tormented by an evil spirit in the elevator, while others say she was actually possessed by a spirit that forced her to commit suicide.
See, I don't know if she was necessarily possessed, though, because in order to be possessed, you have to invite that.
Yeah.
You have to invite them in, but they can still control, though.
But you wouldn't know,
to a point.
like the possession
That's
aspect
true.
of it. I don't know if that's like a reach in that avenue, but in the same
Probably.
token, like you don't know, right? Like I'm guessing that you could be around someone who is possessed and not really have a lot of inkling that they are possessed. Other than they're like, dude, you are batshit crazy.
Well, there was somebody on our old team that said that they swore they were driving down I-15 in Salt Lake or Utah County, and they looked over, and there was a guy that was driving that was not himself. He was definitely, they swear up and down he was possessed.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure if that's the, I mean,
I don't know.
you know, you take everything with a grain of salt in that avenue, right? But sure, like if you see someone who's definitely not themselves and they're driving around, how many people that they interact with daily that doesn't think otherwise, right? That they're just maybe a bit eccentric. What's your thoughts, Jamie?
Well, I've been around bipolar people.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of what I see on the video, her behavior. I've seen it before. So,
Would you care to share?
no.
Okay. I know the story you're talking about. So.
Because if someone listens, okay. Yeah,
Do you care to share off?
I will.
Okay.
I will. So it's very on par. However, that's not to say in the state of mind that she was in and off her meds, that there isn't, with all the dark history and energy in that place, that something couldn't have influenced her and led her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's true, right? Because, like, let's face it, like, demons, they have one goal, right? Their goal is to collect souls. And they're going to do it by hook or by crook, in a sense, right? You know, and so, like, their whole point is to get you to commit suicide in that avenue, isolate you, keep you down, drag you down to the bottom, and then, you know, get you to the point of suicide. So, it would make sense in that avenue, and of course, if you have a mental illness, you're much more vulnerable.
And even just with that whole area there, I mean, you're looking at an area where there's prostitution, drugs, violence, murders, out, you know, just on the street, right, just around there.
Yeah,
That place has to be chock full
of
negative entities that just thrive.
oh yeah,
well, it's a breeding ground.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well,
You know.
and
it makes way too much sense for me that something negative.
yeah, well, and then that you know, we bring back to
Compelled
the
her.
last episode with Ramirez, right? I mean, you have a devout Satan worshiper, essentially, you know, staying in that hotel. So, like, what bad juju came with him and stuck around?
So I'm pretty personally, I'm pretty convinced that he had a whole. Now he might have actually even been full on possessed. That would make
Yeah.
sense. I mean, he was like hail Satan on all these things.
And
yeah,
You
there's,
know, I mean, it's so much invitation that it makes sense that he's got like a whole herd of
things following him around.
demonic entities riding on his shoulders.
yeah, there's definitely some kind of a black cloud hanging over that hotel for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's face it. Like, hey, we opened up 2 weeks, 2 days later, 2 weeks, whatever it was. Someone
Within the first month, yeah.
within the first month, someone committed suicide. You know, and then you can chalk that up to coincidence, in a sense,
Coincidence only goes so far, right?
Because then you're like, well, there's a lot that are happening, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and I know, like, Vegas in itself, right? There's a lot of people that go to Vegas to commit suicide.
We saw it.
Yeah, we did.
We were checking into Binions, and we were
Somebody
at the
jumped
counter
off.
there, and it's like I
Somebody
comes
jumped
running
off.
in, he's like, "Call 911, we got a jumper."
Somebody jumped off the parking garage as we were checking in.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
So, okay, so I've got a theory completely off its rocker, but I'm going to throw this out
is
here.
this your theory or one you
no,
found?
this is one that I found, and it's for all of our Harry Potter fans out there.
Oh joy,
Okay.
Dumbledore did it.
Voldemort,
So,
you of whom we do not speak.
so there are some conspiracy theorists that have stepped up to share their bizarre version. So apparently, Elisa posted online about a Pentagon-funded invisibility cloak project right before she died. This project had been in the works for the United States and South Korea for some time, and many have speculated that the government or even a private company may have ordered her assassination for interfering with oversharing on her social media. Perhaps her strange behavior in the elevator wasn't so strange when we couldn't see her because her assailant was wearing an invisibility cloak.
Wow.
That's a reach, but okay.
That's a reach. That is a huge stretch.
That is... Wow. Wow. I don't know where to go with that
If
one.
Where
they
do you go? Yeah.
If they could actually make an invisibility cloak, can I please have one?
Sign me up.
Here's the thing.
How many
like-
times I want to be a fly on a wall? So
Right.
bad.
But here's the thing, like, so they were doing this invisibility cloak. Like, first of all, like, she's not South Korean.
No.
So she's Cantonese, which,
she's
and from
Canadian.
Canada. So, like,
It makes no sense
not
whatsoever.
even the right part of the globe. And then on top of that, Clintons.
I typed out. I said it was the Clintons. She got Clintoned.
Shit, Clintons. But on top of that, like, if they did have an invisibility, let's say they have an invisibility cloak, right? Great. It's so far out there and so wild.
How would she know about it? She's
That's
a
a
college student on vacation.
Right. But even if she was 100% correct, all they have to do is, I mean, like, you're at the realm of easily plausible deniability. Like, no one's got that type of technology. Oh, yep, she's a crazy person, and then you're done. Mm-hmm. Like, you wouldn't have to off somebody because of that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so now an even more crazy coincidence. Have you heard about the tuberculosis? Did you hear about this one?
No, but
Okay.
I haven't heard of tuberculosis either. What is
No,
that?
you've heard of tuberculosis. Okay,
The
so
forgotten plague.
during the time frame of which Elisa Lam was staying at the Cecil Hotel, a severe tuberculosis outbreak happened on Skid Row.
Okay.
And the strange part is the TB test that was being used in this area. The name of it was an enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, in short called Lam ELISA.
I did hear this.
So
Okay.
the TB patient's side effects include confusion, abnormal behavior. Lamb's toxicology screening didn't find anything strange in her system, but many conspiracy theories think that the drug test results were forged and altered in some way because of all the delays in the report's release. There are those who think that Elisa Lam never existed and the case was fabricated to distract from the intentional government-sponsored TB outbreak and testing. This would ensure anyone who tried to research the test Lam ELISA will only be met with a flood of information on Elisa Lam. And her death was a sacrifice.
Huh. Wow, that got dark.
Darker, yeah.
It's crazy how many different scenarios people have come up with this.
That's a really anti-government view of...
Well, that's the world we live in right now.
Well, that's true, but, like, wow. Like, that's a huge government conspiracy test theory. But, like, you could also see, like, if that's a side effect of the test, right?
Yep.
Then that would fall in line if she got tested. But there probably would be record of her getting tested.
Yeah.
Maybe, unless they did like a mobile unit
Unless
type
there
of
was this
deal.
conspiracy and that wasn't her name and wasn't really who she was.
Yeah.
But then how do you create her family, her parents, you know?
they're actors. Like
That's true.
They faked the moon landing, so if you can fake the moon landing, you can fake this.
Well, they faked like the life of Jim Carrey's best character.
Yeah.
Jim
For like,
Carrey's
for
Yeah,
like
Jim Carrey's.
Truman.
what 40 years.
Show.
The Truman Show.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was real, right?
I know. I agree with you,
Documentary.
Josh, though. I 100% think that this is just very simple black, white, and people are trying too hard to find more than what's there.
Yeah. But let's face it, like, if you want to get your name out there or get clicks or views or anything like that, all you got to do is come up with some crazy ass thing,
Yep.
and people will start looking.
Or
at
a
it.
hotel that is not making any money. That
Oh,
now
yeah.
people are now hoarding there to see the elevator, see the room she stayed in, try to
Well,
break.
Investigate.
That happens all the
investigate.
time. We
Yeah.
know of a restaurant here in Utah that the food wasn't very great, but they made a lot of money off of paranormal
Investigations.
Yep.
investigations.
Except
So.
they don't longer investigate.
but-
We're not,
No.
well, they no
But-
longer serve food there anymore.
But
anyway.
the increase of people coming and staying in that hotel after this happened increase
yeah.
their
'Cause
sales
there's a lot
so
of sick
high.
people out there.
Because there's,
Yeah, we're part of that group a little bit. So.
I would investigate there. I would not want to stay there, though.
I don't know if I would
I would
want to
I
stay.
don't want to sleep there. It's like I'll go in, but then I want to go somewhere else.
I don't know, give me a private floor. I think
No.
at $14 a night, I think we could get a
No,
floor.
no.
rent the whole floor.
Yeah.
Well, to investigate, sure, but I'm not sleeping there.
you gotta wonder how many bed bugs were there. Okay,
Ew.
no, I'm not staying there anymore. I'm not spending the night there anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not even sitting on the bed.
Yep.
I wouldn't.
So that's the Cecil Hotel, people.
Yeah, it's
Creepy.
super creepy. And the funny thing is like before we even watched the documentary, I knew nothing about the Cecil Hotel, other than that there was Elisa Lam was found in the tank, and that was it.
Yeah. And then I don't think a whole lot of people even knew the whole story about everything that had happened there until her, too.
No, yeah, and I
Because
think
there was no need for it.
no, and I think it was the Netflix documentary that really brought all of that stuff to light.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that and Ghost Adventures, of course.
I've not seen that one yet.
I have not either.
I haven't either. I haven't
But we do
bothered to
have
watch
Hey,
it.
Discovery
we have
Plus,
Discovery
so-
Plus now.
Let's go upstairs and watch it.
Go
Merry
check
Christmas.
it out. Laugh your ass off.
Merry Christmas. We
It's
have
only
Discovery
1:30
Plus.
in the morning. We have time.
We got like
ha-
time for a whole season right
I don't
now.
have to be to work till 8. It's okay.
That's right.
So anyway, we hope you enjoyed the show. If you didn't,
We're sorry.
don't tell us about it.
Yeah.
'Cause- But if you liked it, tell your friends.
Absolutely. Come find us on Facebook at the Paranormal Peeps Podcast. Join our page, join our page. Follow us, like our posts.
Yeah, you
And
can
give-
find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research. Jamie's a robot, in case you were wondering.
And that's time, folks.
Coldspot_
Coldspot_paranormal_research. Come follow us, like us. Find us on iTunes. Give us a review. We need a review.
We
do.
do.
A
We need
good
some-
review.
Yeah,
Let
please
us
leave
know.
some good reviews. Don't leave any bad reviews because that's just hurtful. And
If you
why-
have any,
why
if
would
you have
do
negative
that?
stuff to say, just send it privately. Don't put it out in the public.
Yeah, you can message us on Facebook and let us know if there's something we need to fix.
Yeah, if you have something negative to say, write your congressman. In the meantime,
Stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Cold Spot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research.